What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity. And today we're going over part 2 of our last video, learning a little bit about Vinfast and the company and everything.
Correct. Yes. So we're going to be watching the second half of Geared for the Future Vinfast.
Yeah.
Basically, what we learned was the birth of the company from part 1. So stop here. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch it. We'll put the link in the top left corner. And then we're going to continue on here. I believe what we stopped on, they were going to start talking about the design of the vehicle.
Yes.
And so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and start asking people if you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, put the bell notification on, and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It will help us tremendously. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
All right, guys. Again, Vinfast, geared for the future.
Just 2 years ago, Vietnam's automobile industry was non-existent. In the span of 21 months, a local conglomerate achieved what nobody else had: Vietnam's first homegrown car.
I've already seen how efficient the body shop is. Now I head over to Vinfast Paint Shop to witness what promises to be one of the most efficient.
I want to mention one car. You haven't seen it yet. I'll show it to you later. The President Edition of their SUV. It's like 400 plus horsepower. It's a V8. It's insane. It looks so good. It's the one I want. I couldn't read a lot of this stuff because I was showing you the website. Everything's in Vietnamese except for the colors. And then beyond that, then I clicked on President. It looks amazing. I'm curious if somebody knows how much that car cost in US dollars, put it in the bottom, because I am curious of what a car like that cost in Vietnam. Because if that was here, V8, high performance, looks good, has hood scoop, has special body paneling, that car would easily cost $80,000 plus dollars here. So comment in the bottom. Let's get back into this.
Efficient paint jobs ever.
But first, I'm getting a crash course on how to use the manual spray, a basic skill for a repairman just to get a taste.
So, you should hold the hose with your left hand,
Okay.
and then when you pull the trigger,
Yep.
you pull the first phase air, and you pull it back more, then there's the spray, there's the paint that comes out.
Perfect, okay.
So start from the left and do a consistent motion, left to right, left to right.
Okay, let's get this
Go for
centered.
it.
Okay.
Bend the knees. Bend the knees.
Get my
Nice.
spots down. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
Seems easy enough.
I think she was
but
just
it takes a-
practicing.
Okay, I was about to say they're
Yeah.
about to go into the
Yeah, I don't
paint
think there
booth.
was actually paint.
Yeah, it looked like a clear coat or something
Yeah.
like that. But my question was more like, is that how they paint their cars?
Well, no, so if they manually have to fix something.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I missed that part. I was thinking about the car I saw online.
A lot more than spraying a coat of paint to get a job done. At the end of the paint job, the thickness will have a consistency of 100 microns, the same as a strand of hair.
We usually look at the quality of the paint. So usually when you go up to a painted vehicle, you can see your reflection.
With the training completed, now it's time for the real deal.
No pressure. So, okay, from here.
Maybe that was wrong.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
It takes an average of 6 to 8 hours to paint a car. First, it's treated to prevent rust before it goes through a dipping process to prime the surface with an electrostatic coat.
I was going to say,
After the
this
coat
is
baked,
pretty typical
the car
now.
is sealed to prevent water and fuel leaks. The car then goes through another cycle of priming where it's painted and then baked before the top coat is applied. Lucky for me, the work in the paint shop is 95% automated.
I thought most of the
Training
cars were
is
electro
complete.
This
painted
is
as
one of
well.
the most technically advanced paint shops
think
in
so.
Asia. We have Dewar as one of our partners who provided the technical support while we built and are starting up this paint shop.
Oh, perfect. I guess you can't
never
get too
heard of them.
creative with the paint jobs
I'm
here,
sure
can
they're
you?
big in
Well,
the
we kind of
industry.
do. For Vietnam, we've
I
got
like
a
that.
red and a blue that is very unique. What's the most popular paint color?
White.
I'm I'd
Black?
say probably white.
White.
Wow, you're correct. How'd you know that?
Genius. It must be the coat.
In 2017, out of 1,000 Vietnamese citizens, only 16 owned cars.
Wow.
By 2019, passenger car sales had risen by around 30%. The growing middle class was driving car sales, and Vinfast wanted to cash in. I'm meeting Mr. Vo, Deputy CEO of the automotive arm of Vingroup.
Với mục đích là ra cái dòng xe đầu tiên của Vinfast sau khoảng 2 năm, thì chúng tôi chọn một cái phương án là chọn cái thiết kế của Ý, công nghệ của Đức và với cách làm của một cái công ty Việt Nam, và chất lượng thì là chất lượng trên như là những dòng xe nổi tiếng của thế giới.
So I want to touch on this real quick. It seems like they're actually following a lot of the same trend as Korean automakers. So, like I said before, I sold Kias for like 12 years.
Yeah.
And before, so Peter Schreier was a lead designer for the Audi Volkswagen group. He designed cars, I believe, like the Phaeton and like the new Beetle. But his designs were German-based.
I believe they actually got BMW's M division.
And I
designer.
believe somebody from Lamborghini as well. So they're really kind of following in the same path, which is good. Because obviously Kia followed a system that they felt was going to work out, and it really did overall. Yet in the U.S., they're not selling like Toyotas are, but down the road, you never know. But the aesthetic look, the aesthetics, that's kind of redundant, aesthetic look. But the aesthetics has changed drastically, and it's absolutely beautiful. These guys just went in on beauty. They didn't even have to go through that really ugly phase. Now, I will admit, when I was looking at the 3 cars that they make now, the little SUV looks a lot like a Chevy. What is it called?
It's the smallest one.
Yeah, like the Captiva.
I think it's they don't have the Captiva anymore.
It's
But
basically the same
thing.
concept.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not my style. It doesn't look good. But the other 2 cars, the car, beautiful. I absolutely love it. I would drive that in a heartbeat. Same for the SUV. Absolutely gorgeous.
As a new car brand, Mr. Vo knew that they had
that
to
red
make
one
an
that just
impression
popped up.
for their first sedan, the Lux A 2.0 and SUV, the SA 2.0.
Yes,
So
those
they
are the
gathered
2 I
20
love.
different designs from Italian car design companies and invited the public to vote.
I hope they show the
Đây là thương
president.
hiệu ô tô
They let the people decide.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. We need that here.
Yeah.
Give us an opportunity to decide on what we will buy. But then again, everybody's going to pick the cool car.
Yeah.
And then when it goes to production, nobody will probably buy it because it'll be out of price. So I kind of get why they don't do that.
Việt Nam đầu tiên, cho nên chúng tôi muốn người khách hàng Việt Nam gắn bó với cái dòng sản phẩm của mình bằng cách là cho họ đi tham gia cái việc chọn lựa ra cái mẫu thiết kế đầu tiên của 2 dòng xe đầu tiên của chúng tôi.
The winning designs launched in 2018 and in the same year won a Star is Born award in the Paris Motor Show.
Cái việc mà được nhận cái giải thưởng ngôi
I don't
sao
blame
mới
them. I mean, it
là
looks
một
great.
cái
It makes
lý do rất
sense.
quan trọng với chúng tôi, là một cái sự công nhận của một cái thương hiệu của Việt Nam, ô tô Việt Nam, mà coi như là một cái bắt đầu cho đi vào ngành công nghệ ô tô của đất nước Việt Nam qua thương hiệu Vinfast.
Can you tell me more about the designs?
Thiết kế của chiếc xe có nhiều cái điểm cái biểu tượng cho cái nét đẹp của Việt Nam, hoặc là ví dụ như là cái hệ thống đèn trước và đèn sau với cái chữ V như Việt Nam, và nó có vút dáng như một cánh chim bay lên của câu chuyện mà câu chuyện mà chúng tôi mới bắt đầu, đó là câu chuyện tiếng ô tô mang thương hiệu Việt.
Wait, stop right there. 31,000 in a day, fully automated without having to do anything.
Sophisticated and meaningfully designed, these cars are meant to represent Vietnam on the world stage.
Look at those
How do they
roads.
measure up to other cars?
For such a relatively young company, they've made quite a statement. Design is actually one of the most basic elements when it comes to a car. You know, you don't want a car that is overly powerful yet, you know, it chugs down fuel. So having a sleek exterior actually reduces drag coefficient, which helps with fuel consumption. So it's actually a functional car.
So really it's about the ease for the customer. You know, when you leave the house and you get into your car, you're basically, especially if you're spending all the time in traffic, you're going from one home to another.
Correct. This car is not a simple rebadging. It's a complete re-engineering. That just means that Vinfast is serious. They're out there to create great cars. And you see it in this car.
Yeah, I think they want to make a product that is truly Vietnamese, that is going to be truly something which they call their own.
They
Just a
definitely
year
look
after
good.
its launch, Vietnam's first car is already making waves, and I can't wait to drive the car on the test track to see how it fares.
I would love to go visit out there.
Vietnam's
Say that again.
I would love to go visit out there.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that there's probably a little bit of smog issue, but developing country,
Right.
we all go through it. I mean, we did it too, so.
motorbike-filled motorways are about to change with the entry of Vietnam's first homegrown car brand. To date, Vinfast has more than 17,000 orders for their SUV, sedan, and hatchback models.
Well, we're going to test drive the Vinfast cars on the facility over here. I'm just coming up to the start line, and this is where they iron out any wrinkles that the car might have. Okay, first thing, we're going to check the handling of the car. Now, I think the handling of the car basically is just the input that I give to the car and how it responds back to me.
This sedan is a front-engine
How do you
rear-wheel
test that going
drive, which is
straight?
on the sporty side. And it's powered by a turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. But what I'm really looking out for in the car is the handling and the torque.
Here goes.
That's a
We're gonna
lot
go
of
up to
car
40
for
kilometers an hour.
2-liter
And then
turbo.
we're gonna throw the weight of the car a little bit around. There we go. Now that's as responsive as I thought it would be. So even though it looks like a sports car, I wouldn't quite say that it is. I think the interesting part now is let's just see what kind of power it has, what kind of torque that it has. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1. It's not a lot, it's 173 and 227. Let's see what it feels like. Hands on the wheel, foot down. Lots of lag. Going for a Sunday drive for sure.
Next up, the suspension of the car. The test track has a series of terrains that will give me a pretty good idea of its stability.
Going over these cylindrical concrete markings and lumps on the floor, not something you do every day. So at least you know that if it came across one of those, perhaps on a construction site, that it would work.
I wonder what that noise is.
I'm gonna go down to 10 kilometers an hour here.
I don't know.
The car feels pretty rigid, I would say. The suspension isn't
She's not
that
pointing it
soft. I
out,
mean,
so-
it's soft enough.
Say again?
She's not pointing it out, so I wouldn't imagine it's.
Yeah, it might be wherever the microphone's
Yeah.
located. Because it's pretty noticeable. I don't know if these are push button start, so it could be just the keys dangling down and
Yeah.
bouncing off the plastic.
Enough to be comfortable if you were to
Or it
be in a
could be the
situation,
music.
Let's just say a little bit off-road.
The real test, however, is its safety performance. Both models underwent the new car assessment program and scored an outstanding 5 stars, the highest rating you can get.
I'm gonna speed up. We're gonna do a bit of a brake test again. It's supposed to be 8.9 seconds.
That's pretty slow.
It's average for a 4-cylinder car.
I'd say for the braking, he's got a quite
But the
standard
size of
braking.
the car.
The ABS is kicked in with all the different braking segments for each of the wheel. It's got the essential 6 airbags, so super safe, crumple zones in the front, in the rear. I have to admit I enjoyed that drive, and I can understand why it's so well received. But is it enough in such a competitive industry?
Since the launch of Vinfast's first car model, the hatchback, a group of early adopters have formed a fan group identifying themselves as Vinfasters. Zan, Hero, and Leo enjoy cruising around in their cars, taking trips around Vietnam when they can.
Car club.
I'm Rachel Kukaji. I'm a freshman at Hillsdale College, and these are my first few days on.
So what made you decide to buy Vietnam's first locally made car? It's a pretty big deal.
Firstly, it's from Vietnam. I'm very proud of it. Every product from Vin Group is very good. Yeah, so I choose to buy it.
Now, guys, how did your friends really react when you first bought the Vinfast car?
Are you crazy? Crazy when you choose no brand, no name. Why you do not choose another brand name?
Now that you actually own a Vinfast car, how do you actually feel about driving it and owning it?
Actually, it's the driving experience. It's very good. Like whatever you do with the car, when you turn and everything, you can feel it. When you accelerate, you can feel it. It's very smooth, and the soundproof is very good.
Now, if I was saying to you guys, I'm looking for a new car, guys.
Vinfast, it's beautiful, it's strong, and it's Vietnamese.
It's beautiful.
Yes, the same.
It
I wanna
might
go to that
still be
building.
early days, but the growing popularity of these cars is a promising sign for Vietnam's automotive industry. 25,000 jobs have been created, and along with it, suppliers from supporting industries, boosting Vietnam's economy toward industrialization.
Thì khi mà công nghiệp ô tô phát triển, nó cũng là góp phần làm cho cái ngành cơ khí của Việt Nam phát triển. Và với cái ngành cơ khí Việt Nam phát triển ấy, thì nhiều cái lĩnh vực khác của Việt Nam, công nghiệp khác của Việt Nam nó cũng phát triển. Thì nó sẽ tạo ra những cái tiếp cận chính sách, một cái định hướng phát triển cho cái công nghiệp hỗ trợ rất là quan trọng cho Việt Nam trong cái giai đoạn tới.
Vinfast has ambitions beyond Vietnam. Vingroup chairman Pham Nhat Vuong has plans to develop electric vehicles for export to the United States.
Mà quan trọng hơn là chúng tôi cũng sẽ muốn là một công ty tiên phong đưa cái dòng xe điện vào.
They're kind of the pioneer for automotive in Vietnam too.
Và đưa ra cái dòng xe điện, ô tô điện và dòng xe buýt điện trong thời gian tới. Nhưng mà chúng tôi vẫn tin tưởng rằng về lâu dài sẽ thuyết phục được cái người tiêu dùng Việt Nam sử dụng cái dòng xe điện xanh, xe điện, xe máy điện này. Vì đó là giải pháp mang đến cuộc sống người Việt Nam tốt đẹp hơn với giải pháp tốt đẹp cho môi trường.
Vietnam is at a crossroads in the development of its economy. Will this new player spur the emergence of Vietnam's auto industry and overhaul the manufacturing here? Will this be a new driving force to put Vietnam on the world map? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
All right. So, do you have any final thoughts on it?
I mean, I think it's awesome that, you know, they've came up from where they were years ago. The country in general, they have came a long way, and then with Vinfast, you know, opening this new door for Vietnam, essentially, I think that is awesome.
Right. I totally agree. Now, for it to be successful in other countries, I think it's going to have to, based off of what she said, it's going to have to clean up a lot of that stuff. Yes, no, don't get me wrong. A lot of cars here, there's a lot of issues with a lot of them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just, when she said that the accelerator's kind of laggy or whatever, that kind of stuff is going to, I mean, that might go away, especially if it's an electric car.
That's what I was about to say. Going all electric, it's going to be 100% different, I would imagine.
Depending on how I don't know how throttle response is is sent to an electric motor. If it's just automatic, just a wave of energy going, flipping a switch, basically.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of things that you'll have to definitely take care of. It is what it is. But as far as aesthetics, they look beautiful.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like if it was brought to the United States, especially the sedan, you know, if that was brought to the United States, it would be a seller just off of aesthetics.
Yeah. And then the SUV, again, same concept. Now the sedan might struggle just because sedans struggle in the United States.
Yeah, a lot of sedans are getting checked off the list and getting kicked in the United States.
There is one other thing that I'm really curious about. How much do these cars cost?
Yes, if
just
anybody knows the prices of any of these vehicles.
Preferably in USD.
Yeah.
The other question is, so in the US, we finance vehicles, we have interest rates, we have monthly payments. Is that how it's done in Vietnam, or is it like you have to pay for the whole car up front? Because I think that's how it used to be back in the 70s, 60s, when you could just pay it up front, or you did like a 12-month finance. Now we're going up to 84 months because cars are getting well into the, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 for like an average vehicle. So
right.
Just comment down below. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said,
My name's Miles.
and my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Out.